everyone! So today I'm going to do a product review for you about the new L'Oreal Caresse lip stains. Okay, so these have been out for about a month now. I found it at the drugstore right after the holidays. I saw the display with all the pretty gold packaging and the really nice array of colors, and I decided I'd give this product a try. So I bought one in the color Infinite Fuchsia, which is number 187. And when I first looked at it, I didn't really look at the display. I just kind of saw the product and looked at all the colors and said, that's a pretty color. And I actually thought it was either a liquid lipstick or a lip gloss. But this is actually a lip stain. So if anybody out there accidentally forgets to read what the product is supposed to be, now you know, it's a lip stain. So now let's talk about the things about the product that I like. First of all, I love that it is a drugstore product and that it's therefore easily accessible and inexpensive. I believe that these run about $9.99, and there's always coupons in your flyer and sometimes even in the stores that you can use to make it even cheaper. So the price point and the availability are definitely two really good things. Another thing about it is that I like a lot is that it gives you a really great color payoff. The color that you see in the little display window is exactly the color that comes out on your lips. I'm wearing it right now, and I've actually had it on for a couple of minutes now, maybe 15 minutes now. And as you can see, it's still really shiny and it's still pretty pigmented. And I only have one layer on. So I didn't build it up or anything. This is the color that I got out of the bottle. Another good thing is that it comes with a doe foot applicator, but it's not the regular types of doe foot applicators. It's one of those thin, kind of flat doe foot applicators. So it gives you more surface area and allows you to apply the product more evenly. The lip stain itself is actually a really nice consistency. It's kind of watery. It's not thick like a lip gloss or creamy like a lipstick. It's actually a very kind of watery consistency. I'm not sure if you can tell from that swatch, but see? So it feels good when you actually apply it onto your lips because it doesn't feel too heavy or thick. So that's definitely something I really like. Unfortunately, that's where my praises for the product kind of end. I'm not totally pleased with how the product performs when you are done applying it and kind of go on about your day. If I was just rating it based on how it looks when I first put it on, it's awesome. But once I started to kind of wear it throughout the day, it didn't perform as nicely as I liked. The first problem I encountered was the first few times I applied it, I wasn't sure how much was too much. So there's a little bit of a learning curve to kind of figure out how much of it is too much. And I know that sounds weird, but because it's such a watery consistency, the first time I put it on, I pressed on the doe foot applicator too hard and I didn't really get a nice even application. So if you do want a nice even application on the first attempt, try not to press down too hard. Just kind of gently apply it and it'll work a little bit better. But I pressed down a little too hard. I kept layering the stain on my lips until I got an even application. I think I put like 3 coats on, which I now know is way too much, because what happened after that is that it felt incredibly sticky and it was just bothering me. This coat I have on now, I only have one, and it doesn't feel sticky at all anymore. But the first few times I wore it, I couldn't figure out how to apply it evenly without applying more than 1 coat. Now I figured it out. It just requires a gentle hand and a little bit of patience. And after you figure it out, you don't really need that much patience, just a gentle hand. But unfortunately, learning how to apply it alone didn't fix the performance problem. When I wear it just as a stain, as the day goes by, the product starts to look worse and worse and worse. And now I know that that's normal with lip products. You know, the longer you wear it, it starts to fade. It's not that it's looking bad because it's starting to fade away. It's looking bad because of how it's starting to fade away. It doesn't fade away evenly. It looks really splotchy. So you'll have like a really dark section of your lip and then like a really light one, and it just doesn't look good. And at first I thought it was because maybe my lips were dry or because I hadn't exfoliated before I applied it, and so I thought maybe it was user error and it was my problem. But then the next time I wore it, I made sure to exfoliate my lips, and it still did the same thing. It still just did not fade really well. And the problem with that is if you don't carry it with you, because I've done that, I've forgotten it at home, when it fades, you can't just wipe it off and keep going like you would with any other lip product that you forgot at home and decided that now you have to change colors because you can't reapply, it won't wipe off easily. So then if you try to apply a different color on top, if it's not something similar, it's gonna show through, and it just wasn't cute. I didn't like its long wearing properties and how it kind of performed throughout the day as opposed to after I had just recently applied it. But it's not all a lost cause. I did figure out a few tips that might be useful for you if you've already bought this and you're not thrilled about it. So the first thing I do is I don't use it as it's intended. I don't use it as a stain. I will apply this over a lip balm. So I'll apply my lip balm and then I'll apply this over it so that there is a barrier between the product, the stain, and my lip to kind of keep it from being as long wearing as it is. It also helps me wipe it off easier so that I don't have to deal with the ugly way that the product fades throughout the day. Another thing that I do is that once I apply the first layer, I wait for it to dry completely before I decide whether or not I need a second layer. Sometimes I want to make it more intense, so I do apply that second layer, but most of the time once it dries, I am happy with the color that I got, so I don't feel the need to keep applying more and more to intensify it. I also find that when I do that, it keeps it from getting really sticky. So once I figured out those two things to do, I actually like this a lot better. Granted, that means I'm not really using the product as it was intended, in the sense that I'm not using it as a long wearing stain. I'm just using it as a regular liquid lipstick. And while I love the color and I love how it performs when I don't use it as a stain, I don't think I'll be purchasing it again, only because I'm sure there are other lipsticks out there that are a similar color that I can use the way that they're intended to be used. As a stain, I'm not really pleased with the product itself, and I probably wouldn't repurchase it. Alright, so that was my review. Hopefully it was informative and helpful, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye!